Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday night, of course. It is the post-Black Monday edition. And what a Black Monday it was of the Third and Long podcast. I am, of course, Nutridiga's second biggest export after Darcy Blake, Shane Harris. Above me is our beautiful, beautiful baby Hope. And next to Oliver Hope is a very sullen, very sad Mr. Oliver Butler Henderson. And before we continue the show, conspicuous by his absence, Mr. Perrins. He's back at the day job today. He's very exhausted, but he assures us that he will be here. So, kicking the show off in no other way that we could kick the show off. After 26 years in New England and 6 Super Bowls, Bill Belichick is no longer the coach of the New England Patriots. Ollie, first I'm going to go to you. Being a Pats fan, what are your thoughts on this?
Emotional. It's a mixed day. I was one of those people who, yes, I want Brady, got a Belichick going, yes, and all that. He hasn't moved the times, he hasn't done that, but he's given up a third of his life towards us. 24 years in New England. He's 71. And hearing him speak, dropping his press conference, you can hear his voice cracking as he was emotional. He's given us 6 Super Bowls. He came, when he took over in 99, we went to the Super Bowl once. He took us to 10 Super Bowls, bringing back the Lombardi 6 times. It's what he's done will never, ever be replicated by a coach ever again. Ever again. It's unprecedented, You thought when Don Shula won 311 wins, that's never going to be replicated. No one's going to get everywhere near clear that. Belichick's 12 wins behind off that record now. The likelihood he is probably going to go somewhere that, there was no retirement talk in his press conference today. Well, when I say press conference, it was basically reading a statement because no questions were allowed. Robert Kraft said it's going to be weird seeing, the short-armed hooded guy coaching someone else on the other sideline. And apart from when he plays New England, I will root for him. And I can guarantee you 99.9% of the fans will say exactly the same. They will root for Bill because of what he's brought this franchise. It's solemn. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, my phone has literally been mental today. I've had so many people asking me, how are you feeling? Is it the right thing? Is it the right thing? And for what is defensively, he is a mastermind of building a defensive team, especially the last 10 years, drafting team players. If you look at the players like he's drafted, Gonzalez, Mark Jones. Yes, he traded for Stephon Gilmore. Dwan Bentley, Lawrence Guy, all these players he's brought in on the defensive side of the ball have won Super Bowls. They've been outstanding. But offensively, especially the last 5-6 years who he's drafted in, it's been a bit more miss than hit. Probably bar Mondre, probably, maybe no one on the O-line he's really drafted that's really stepped up. Quarterback-wise, wide receivers haven't been there. So offensively, it's gone away. But our defense have always been top 10, and it's down to him. Defensively minded, you're not going to beat this guy. And he'll always find a way of making it a winnable game no matter what. Bar, I think, 3 or 4 over the last year. You would expect us to get absolutely spanked, but we've kept it to win in 1 score, and it's not because they've scored 40 points and we've scored 32 or 38. It's been under 20 points, and it's down to the brains of Belichick. One of my favourite Super Bowl wins is not against Atlanta because that was just ridiculous. It was actually when we beat the Rams.
That was such a dull Super Bowl.
Defensively, though, if you look at it from a defensive point of view, we stopped the highest scoring team in the league that year to a field goal.
Was it 13-3?
13-3. We stopped them to a field goal.
It was so dull.
And yes, was the offense back in them days? Did Brady's skills make up for the downfalling of the wide receivers, the skill players? We still had Gronk. We still had that other tight end who was incredibly good. We still had Jules. We had Randy Moss at one point. We had Wes Welker. Yes, they're not.
Edelman.
That's who Jules is. So they weren't like high-class picks, but they were one of the best wide receivers in that time, and any team would have taken them and made any offensive core better.
You missed out playoff Amendola.
Of course, can't forget playoff Danny. But there was this team, what he has done, what him and Kraft have done over the last 25 years, 24 years, nearly half, quarter of a century nearly now, will never be replicated, will never be duplicated or, get anywhere close. I can't see another head coach getting anywhere near what they've done, bar probably Andy Reid. And I think Andy Reid's probably only got a year, maybe that, if that, left.
Baby, I will ask you a question as well, being unbiased, not being a Pats fan. How do you think the Belichick era would have gone if he didn't have Brady? Do you think he still would have won those 6 Super Bowls, and do you think he'd be as highly regarded as he is now?
Okay, so I'm going to start this by saying Belichick is an incredible coach.
Yes.
And him and Brady was a match made in heaven. I think if Brady didn't have Belichick and Belichick didn't have Brady, either one of those, I'm not saying they wouldn't have won any Super Bowls, but they would not have won 6. And I know that everyone thinks Brady went to Tampa Bay and won a Super Bowl, which shows that he can do it without Belichick. But I do think that he would not have won 6. I think Belichick would have won some because, as already said, he's incredible defensive mind. His offense, I'll get to that. Later.
Careful.
No, I'm not going to say anything bad about what he's done. I just want to say something about the future about his offense. But I don't think he'd have won anywhere near 6, 1 or 2 max. That's my opinion.
I probably would have gone 4.
4.
The unbeaten season. We were unbeaten, we're unplayable. Yes, we lost in the Super Bowl to the Giants. Those Giants. But we got to the Super Bowl 10 times. You've got to be looking at least 40% of that is a success rate. On average, a team to get to the Super Bowl, it is around about 35-40% chance.
Yeah, but
That's an incredible record. I don't think it'll ever be broken.
Would you have made the Super Bowl 10 times without Brady?
Look at the season we didn't have Brady. Yes, okay, we didn't have a great backup quarterback. I think it was Ryan Mallett. At the time, I think we went 5-10, 6-10, something like that. Top of my head, we would have had a quarterback. Don't forget, we had Drew Bledsoe for a couple of years behind Brady. So he's a super caliber quarterback. He's better than like at least 60% of the quarterbacks in the league now at his prime. So we would have had enough of a quarterback to get us to probably, let's say, I think around 2010. When did he come out of the league? 2007, I think it was. He came out of the league. So it probably would have been enough to get us to another 3 or 4 Super Bowls. Then you would have had that downward spiral that teams got, and then you would have got back there again. You would have found another quarterback to get there. So I think we would have probably not got to 10, maybe 6 over the 20 years, which is still outstanding.
Incredible.
I think it's hard to say that because even in 2005, 2006, Randy Moss moved to New England to play with Brady.
True, but would he have moved there if Drew Bledsoe was there? We don't know that.
Yeah, we don't know. So, but I'm saying 1 or 2.
Boys, putting a bow on Bill's career in New England momentarily, just a final stop on the subject because there's been a lot of coaching firings over the last few days, which we need to get to. Where does Bill land next? I'm just gonna say really quickly, I think he's going to the Chargers.
I agree. This is what I was going to say about the offense.
I completely agree.
I think Belichick needs to go somewhere where there's already an offense set up. Because if he goes to Atlanta, if he goes to Carolina, he won't go to Carolina. But if he goes to Atlanta, he's going to need to bring in a quarterback, which I'm not going to lie, his record recently, not great. So
at least he's got 7 good quarterbacks to pick for going into this draft.
Always take McCorkle with him.
He needs to go somewhere where the offense is set up and the defense needs fixing. So I just feel like that situation in LA is perfect.
The thing is with LA, they're probably a couple of their tight end and a wide receiver away from a good offense. Defense is where they need, and he can always pick up. Marcus Jones was a 5th rounder. Jack Jones was a 5th rounder. Malcolm Butler was an undrafted agent, and he's became a Super Bowl legend. And he's going to be into the Hall of Fame, ducked to the Hall of Fame, the Patriots.
Hold on. Malcolm Butler is going to be a Hall of Famer.
Patriots Hall of Fame.
Okay, that was almost as weird as when you said Andy Dalton was a Hall of Famer.
No.
that came out of his mouth that Andy Dalton was going to make it into the Hall of Fame.
I was an early day. I wanted to, make things catchy.
I was going to say, OBH, do you want your host's chair back now? I just wanted to do the little Bill Belichick thing for yourself. You can have your host's chair back now.
I do think Atlanta would be a good fit for him. Yes, they are. I've all said they're a quarterback away and a head coach away from winning. The head coach has been removed. Like I said, look, Atlanta have a GM. They know how to pick. He'll pick a quarterback. He got it right with Bijan. He got it right with Drake. He got it right with Carl. He's brought in Johnny Smith. He's got Cordell Patterson there. He's got a decent O-line there. Off defensively, they are strong. They're probably a pass rusher away from on defensive side of the ball from doing some damage. Atlanta isn't far away. It was just the head coach and the quarterback was the main issue. I agree with LA. I do think LA is the best fit for him. He likes California. He is, like down there. How about this for a left field one? How about Alabama?
Ooh.
Oh, no. And why would you say that?
I don't think Belichick's right for college.
No, I don't. To be fair, I just thought it just literally popped into my head. What about Alabama?
There's a reason Saban never made it in the league.
Yeah.
I was going to say, what a great segue into another coaching departure.
Yeah, I'm shocked. Well, I'm not shocked by this. I thought he would have gone one more year. I thought he would have gone one more year to go on a high, like probably Jim Harbaugh's going to do. Who will end up in Carolina. I think Jim Harbaugh will be a Carolina dude.
Okay.
Bryce Young connection for one of them.
Okay.
I like Nick Saban. What he's done, it's 7 national titles. His record of 297 wins to 71 losses and 1 tie is unprecedented at college level. Yes, Alabama and the Crimson Tide are something else. But, yeah, Nick Saban is the GOAT of college football.
That guy is a legend.
Yeah, an absolute legend. I know you don't really know a lot about college football, Shano.
I've been trying since I've had a shellacking, basically a kick up the arse to learn it.
Yep.
I've been dipping my toe into it. Did you know that Nick Saban was the defensive coordinator of the Browns under one Bill Belichick?
Yeah, that's why they have a really good relationship. That's why it's one reason why we drafted Mac Jones.
Yeah, but I'm saying these things to you, which you already know. This is all new to me. So if I haven't seen it, it's new to me. And I'm looking at his Wikipedia in front of me now. Nick Saban, there's just championships and awards and just trophies everywhere. 7 national titles, 11 SECs, 1 MAC, or whatever that is 12 SECs, and the amount of awards he's got. He's probably the only individual that I know who has more trophies in his cabinet than a certain red team from Manchester, if you know what I mean.
Well, Liverpool.
Try that one again, but I said Manchester, you're daft.
Yeah,
I know geography wasn't your best subject in school, and school was last week for you.
Manchester's just like a bust off of Liverpool, isn't it?
I've never heard something so blasphemous in my life. Anyway, Nick Saban. He's 71. I mean, the fact that he's coached as long as he has, same as Bill, early 70s, it takes some longevity, because in our daily lives, doing what we do for a living and outside as well, it puts tremendous strain on our bodies and our minds. Can you imagine coaching a professional team for that long? It's unprecedented.
It's bad enough coaching a football team for 5 years.
Exactly.
I think coaching college is actually harder than coaching a professional team. I think coaching college is harder.
Yeah, because you've got to. You're not only that, but you're turning boys into men. Yeah. You've got to try and get them, make sure they're still doing their academics, getting them through that as well, make sure they're doing that, and then you've got to kind of, if they want to go for the transfer portal, get them to come to you. Then you've got to recruit players from high school. It is a lot of work as a high school as a college coach. It really is a lot of work, a lot more than it is at NFL level. But I think the NFL gets a lot more pressure from it.
Yeah.
Shall we go on to the other gentleman who's in his twilight years, who's been removed as a head coach in the Northwest?
I can't believe it. I genuinely saw the news yesterday, and I thought he would be a Seahawk for life. I genuinely thought he would be a part of our organization, and it goes to show that my intuition was onto something. Pete Carroll was sacked yesterday after 17 years as head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. Now, I know on the show, my old buddy Baby Hope goes on the Sea Chickens. There's a massive amount of disrespect between him and the Seahawks, but I think they're a very well coached franchise. The only question you've got to ask now is who replaces him.
It's funny you say Pete Carroll being a Seahawk for life, because he is staying part of the organization as an advisor.
Yeah,
I think
exactly. He's going upstairs.
So he's moving upstairs. I think there might be another person that might be moving upstairs very soon.
Isn't that what's his face at Tampa do that?
Bruce Arians.
Yes, I can remember his name. He did that as well, didn't he, for a season? So,
I do call them the Sea Chickens, and it's no secret that I'm not the biggest fan of the Seahawks. However, I do think Pete Carroll has been a great coach, and I've started to see the back of him because Shanahan had his number, but I do think he's been a great coach for 17 years.
Bar one questionable call in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, run the ball.
On the 1 yard line.
I mean, everyone makes mistakes. My pencils have erasers,
Beast mode.
Yeah, all day long. Marshall Letterman. Marshall Lynch, sorry, Letterman, wrong Marshall, but yeah, he has had a great career, a couple of NFC titles, Super Bowl ring, Super Bowl appearance. He was Belichick's predecessor. So Belichick took over Pete Carroll in New England, which I told Kelly that yesterday and she couldn't believe it.
How long was Pete Carroll in New England for?
I want to say 5 years.
If you want to keep the fans occupied, keep the listeners occupied.
I'm sure it's 5 years.
Trying
it
to
might
find
be a
out
bit
now.
more.
The way they said it on Good Morning Football this morning made it sound a lot briefer than that, but I thought he was there for a fair amount of time.
He was in New England for 97 to 99.
He took over from that legendary coach whose name is escaping me.
Parcells.
Bill Parcells. I knew that.
Bill Parcells.
Yeah. He was even your defensive coordinator. Do you know that? He was the Niners defensive coordinator from 95 to 96.
Belichick.
No,
No, Pete Carroll, you daft.
Pete Carroll. Yeah.
I did not know that.
So he's obviously the Super Bowl champion, the 2010 All-Decade Team, All-Pro National Champion 23-24, Rose Bowl champions, Orange Bowl champions, Pac-10 champions, Home Depot Coach of the Year. Obviously, that's college ball. You know, his coaching record in the regular season, 170 wins, 120 defeats, and 1 draw. And the postseason, bang on 11-11. So he's had a bloody good career. A really good career. You know, college and football. You know, he's professional football. He's done really well. Who takes over? I think the guy who's just been sacked by the Tennessee Titans.
No way. I told you where I think Mike Vrabel is going. The proof will be in the pudding for the first kickoff of next year. I am telling you now, he will be in the dugout in Foxborough.
No, that's Jared Mayo's job, mate.
You.
I know who I want. I want the offensive coordinator from Detroit. I want Jared Mayo as defensive coordinator. Offensive coordinator, I probably want one of the college guys. I like the Notre Dame head coach.
So you keep saying.
That's my fantasy coaching.
I think the Notre Dame guy is too invested in what he's doing at Notre Dame right now.
I agree, but it's my fantasy coaching lineup. But also
this is what go on.
Is Steve Belichick going to go, and the other Belichick's that? Oh, in New England.
By the way, if you want Wilkes, you can have him.
No, that's all right. He's been interviewed for a head coaching role somewhere.
Yeah, it's
Atlanta or Carolina, one of them.
Yeah, they can have him.
That's what I don't like about Black Monday.
Yeah,
that's what I don't like about Black Monday. The fact that these coaches get fired, and then the teams without head coaches can go ahead and interview pretty much whoever they want. It's been a couple of the Ravens OCs and DCs and defensive back coach that have been offered interviews. No, leave our coaches alone.
Didn't they change the rule a couple of years ago? Because I know it used to be you couldn't interview them if they had a game that weekend. But I feel like they changed that.
So you can't interview them if they're still in the playoffs. So if they're still in the playoffs, they can't be interviewed. You can request the interview from the team, but they're not allowed to be interviewed until they're out of the playoffs. So say you get knocked out on Sunday, you could be interviewed on Monday.
Well, I'm pretty sure the Niners and Ravens guys can be interviewed because there's no game this weekend for them.
That makes sense.
I know it is a rule that if you've got you can't request an interview for another head coach for your head coaching role. I always thought the rule until I saw someone else. They've asked someone for their offensive role, for their offensive coordinator to be interviewed for their offensive coordinator role. I always thought you had to go up the ladder. I didn't think you had to go across it. I thought you had to go up the rung, which I think is a better thing. You should be interviewed for a promotion, not sideways step. But yeah, what do you think? Do you think Vrabel, Tennessee have done the right thing?
Yes.
I know what you think about him.
I don't know.
For me, I want to know whose call it was to trade Brown. Because the GM and the coach that were there when Brown got traded have both subsequently been sacked. So I think that Brown trade has cost them both their job, but I want to know who made the call.
It might be a completely different offense for Tennessee next year with the fact that Henry's going to be gone. And I think DeAndre Hopkins is only on a 1-year deal. Who's going to start under center? Because will they bring somebody else in to replace Tannehill? Or is Levis the next big thing? And a new coach as well. It's going to be interesting times in Tennessee.
So quickly, Clover says no, Mr. Perrins. Clover,
I know, we're missing him.
We've been told that he will be on. He's assured us. And Rodney
stay tuned, but stay tuned.
Said, how's young Pidge?
Rune, I tell you now, it likes you.
Who's Pidge?
My brother.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I mean, the offense, I don't think Vrabel was the problem on the offensive play calling. I mean, me and Phil have mentioned this so many times on the show that we were literally calling what Tennessee were running from the stand in Tottenham. And yet they didn't make that offensive coordinator change. So was Vrabel actually calling the calls? I don't think he was, because I never saw him with a play sheet in front of him. Because you do with Sean McDermott on the defensive side of the ball. There's a couple of the offensive.
Sean McVay.
Yeah, Mike McDaniels. He's another one.
Shanahan.
But yeah, so there is them, but I don't think Vrabel was one of them. So I think the issues is on the offensive coordinator's problem, not necessarily Vrabel. But he sets up the team. He tells them how they want to play this week. It's the same as a normal football manager. It's that. But, you've had 2 bad years in Tennessee now. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised it came about. I've seen a lot of people going, oh, they've made a mistake. They shouldn't have done this. They should have done this. At the end of the day, the buck stops at the head.
Yeah.
Ollie.
If they bring in an offensive mind, I don't want to say a Shanahan-like, who can call the offensive plays and come up with offensive plays, then does that not solve the offensive issue?
Possibly, but who's calling the plays? If it's the new offensive, if it's the offensive head coach calling the plays, then yes. But if it's still the coordinator, I won't know. Matt Eberflus, Ollie, take us away.
How does this guy still have a job?
You'll be seeing him in London next year.
They've scapegoated the OC for no reason. The offense wasn't that bad. This is Ken Dorsey all over again.
I said, give them one more draft. It's normally 3 years, isn't it? They normally get 3 years, and then it's tonk on your way out. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. They've sacked a few other players on the offensive side of the ball as well, haven't they?
They've sacked 4 other coaches: the quarterback coach, the running back coach, the O-line coach, and the tight end coach.
They're definitely calling the issue on the offensive side of the ball then.
I won't know how the wide receiver coaches got off scot-free, to be honest.
Oh, they had DJ Moore, and he was catching everything.
Yeah, but that's DJ Moore. That's not the coach.
Yeah, that's true.
Have we mentioned Arthur Smith as well?
Yeah, we did that on
Monday.
We did. Yeah, no, just double checking this all.
It's been sort of Black Week rather than Black Monday this year.
I tell you what, I mean, I've had a mad, crazy week at work this week. First week back off holiday and all that. I just wanted an easy week in the NFL because they've left it till next week when I've got my normal plan back to normal and not having everything in 1 week. My head's been wanting to explode today.
You put that in the group chat. I was like, oh my God, what's happened? And he's like, oh no, I'm just really stressed. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think the offense was that problem. I think now they are going to be keeping Justin Fields. I don't think they're going to be drafting a quarterback.
I think that.
I
mean, I know what Shane thinks, and I agree with Shane. I think Fields is a good quarterback.
Thank you, bud. No time.
Fans want him. The fans like him.
Yeah.
The fans never got on his back in Chicago. So it'll be interesting if we see him in London next year.
I'd like to see him give him one more season. DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah,
and give him a proper running back.
Yes, someone like Blake Corum.
Because I mean,
or Derrick Henry.
Just not Khalil Herbert, please.
Why do you want him in San Fran?
No, I just want Chicago to have an actual proper running back.
Jacksonville. Doug Peterson stayed. A load of others went.
Yeah, the defensive coordinator, Jacksonville's defense has been suspect at best.
Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
Josh Allen and old Thong Song.
Cisco.
Cisco.
And who's the other corner? Who's the cornerback as well? They had a pick in
Wait a
London.
minute. That song is older than you. It came out in like 99. You weren't born until 2000. 2000? Wait.
1998.
98? Come on, you were one. I knew it was something like that.
I was alive at the turn of the millennium. Thank you.
Of course you was.
Mate, everyone knows
don't remember it, but I was there.
Yeah, most definitely. I love that one. We're not going to do our usual players and rookies of the week because we are one gentleman down. But we do have our players of the week, which I will.
I think we have one little thing to talk about before that.
Go on then.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
yeah! Ta-da! Surprise, NFL Nation.
Has anyone seen what Shrake said on Good Morning Football today?
No.
No, but I was watching it, so
he pretty much apologized, going, "This wasn't the day to do it."
Yeah. I know they talked about how it was overshadowed by the Belichick thing, but it's big news. And Vikings, Bears, Jags. I have this feeling. Vikings, Niners. I just have a feeling.
Yeah, you'd love that because you and your buddy can go.
Oh, if it's Vikings, Niners, it's going to be World War for tickets.
What we try and do is we'll get media accreditation and we can just give our tickets to away.
Yeah, so good to me. Boys, just looking at what the NFL has generously given us European fans. We have Justin Fields and that Chicago offense with the new additions in the draft. We get to see JJ in person. Oh my God, that's worth the price of admission alone. And of course, we see the Jags every year, nothing special. Do you know who I really feel sorry for right now? And you know who it is, boys. We mentioned it in the group chat. The German fans, 100%.
Poor Germans.
How are they going to sell out Bayern Munich Stadium, the Allianz Arena, with the bloody Panthers?
I mean,
right,
can I tell you something? They got Chiefs Dolphins last year. Let them be happy.
Yeah, I suppose it was spoiled last year.
They had 3 million people request tickets for last year's games. 3 million people request tickets for last year's games.
Yeah, most of those Peters he got them into.
I saw pretty much every team you could see at Frankfurt Stadium, and that held 50,000.
Yeah.
They are massive fans over there. Absolutely massive NFL fans, probably bigger than us. They are crazy over there. They will go mad for that sport. They don't care who's over there. They will fill that stadium, and you'd be able to fill that stadium 15 times.
So, Ollie, the first year I went with you, do you remember what the games were? The 2 games we had.
Vikings was one of them. Jets was another one.
The Vikings weren't there. That was the year after. The first year there were 2. It was just after COVID. There were 2 games. And they were both rubbish. But we went to them both, and both sold out Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yes. Can't remember who they were, though, but yeah, it was sold out.
Jags Dolphins, the Dolphins were rubbish, and Falcons Jets. Those are both awful games, but Tottenham Hotspur Stadium sold out both of them. So I think no matter what the game is in Germany, it will sell out.
Yeah.
You're paying for the occasion as opposed to the match.
So the likelihood that is quite a high chance the Patriots going to come over. Probably either against the Bears or the Jags, I think, because they've got them away. Saves me some money to go to Chicago next year or this year.
The only game the Niners have is Vikings away.
Ravens ain't playing any of these teams.
They're normally around week 4, which is roughly November 16th is when it starts.
No,
And Germany's probably going to be a week 10.
October 16th.
October 16th.
What did I say?
November 16th.
November.
Okay, I'm in October. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Who do you like? You've said Vikings, Niners. Who's playing the Bears?
One sec, let me get my little list up.
Yeah, come on, get this up for us. Boys, it also begs the question, who's going to play the NFL's first ever game in Brazil?
Okay.
Dallas.
Niners.
No, it won't be Niners. I think Eagles. So I think the Bears will be playing the New England Patriots.
See, I reckon New England are going to go to Wembley against
And
Jacksonville.
I think the Jacksonville Jaguars will be playing the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I know someone upset.
I don't get it.
Jags Bears.
Who's what, sorry?
Jags Browns. Kelly said Jags Browns. So
I don't get why the Pats will come over here again twice in 2 seasons, or travel twice in 2 seasons.
It's no different than to go onto the West Coast. In fact, it's probably easier for them coming this way than it's going West Coast.
Yeah, but the point I'm making is, I mean, the team would probably do it, but I'm not sure if the NFL would be like, look, you played last year, you're not doing this year, somebody else is going.
The rule is you've got to play over here at least once every 4 years.
Yeah. Or somewhere. It doesn't have to be over here. It can be Brazil or.
Yeah, you've got to play an international game once every 4 years.
My question is, could they do what they did this year?
What Vikings or Bears could both play back to back?
Yeah.
Because they both got their fixtures. Their fixtures are roughly the same.
They're playing plus it's divisional. They're playing each other.
Yeah, and their matchups are roughly the same, bar 1 or 2, I think it is, because of the seedings where they ended up like that.
The Vikings could play the Bears away, and then play, say, the Niners at home.
Right, I don't think that's fair. I mean, it's fair if you're a fan of the team, but if you're a fan of the neutral and just want to go for the day, you don't want to see the same team twice.
Jags did it this year.
Yeah, but Jags' second home is London.
I think the Jags set a precedent with that. Look, we landed on Thursday morning for our first game.
Yeah,
we then steamrolled the Atlanta Falcons. We then turned London into a home. Yeah.
Nick said, both teams, yeah.
You're not wrong, Nick. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Could it be that they just play each other? I mean, that would be really bad for the fans, but they could just play each other twice.
Don't think they'll do that.
However, I don't think they'll do that because I think the team will want to protect their divisional matchup and have it in their stadium because of the rivalries and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I don't think they'll play. I don't think they'll.
Bears Packers will not happen in England. It just won't.
No chance. Neither will Ravens Steelers. No way.
That was kicking off something else on week 18. That game was like literally, I don't care. We are going to kill you, each other. That was quite funny. Yeah, it's going to be good. I mean, I'm shocked that they've announced it now. It's not normally until March. We normally find out.
I thought it was usually like. We usually find out the home teams pretty early, and then like May time we find out the away teams.
Yeah.
Usually just off the.
Do you know what I like about these London games the most? It can be any teams. I'm not really bothered. Obviously, if it's my Ravens, I think a lot more of it. But it's our yearly third and long get together.
Hey.
Honestly,
that's what means the most.
I'd like some playoff teams.
We had some playoff teams.
I don't care about that.
This year we have no playoff teams.
Oh no, they were in Germany.
No, we had the Bills and stuff this year, but Vikings didn't make playoffs, Bears didn't make playoffs, Jags didn't make playoffs, Panthers didn't make the playoffs. Give us some playoff teams for the away teams, please.
Well, they probably will. Do I expect? Like I said, they're just feeding us crumbs at this point. It's like when a festival gets announced and they announce the headliners, and then a few weeks later you get support bands. They feed you crumbs in order for you to be involved and get registered and gauge interest.
Oh yes, my friend. Oh yes. Before we go on to college ball, let's show us our play or show you our plays of the weeks. If I can find the video, and I'll run it up for you now.
Do you want me to do it? I've got it here.
Go on then.
Clark Phillips, a rookie from Utah, his head is back. He sees it, disrupts it. Chris Olave just bouncing it to himself. How about the concentration?
3rd and 8 with Carr. Campbell coming. Carr gets rid of it. And Perry with the adjustment. A.T. Perry reels it in.
Fake to Jahmyr Gibbs. Deep throw from Goff. Down the sideline, St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown in a foot race. Eyes on the end zone. Cuts it back. St. Brown is all the way. Touchdown, Detroit.
Fake the give. Over the top. Deflected in the air. Sherfield dragged his feet. Touchdown. Ruled a touchdown. We'll have to check if he kept it secure, but he was looking at it like a fly ball.
So, Baby Hope chose Chris Olave. Mr. Burns went for Mr. Harris went for the other Saints guy, A.T. Perry.
A.T. Perry, hell of a catch.
You've never heard of him at that point.
No, it's like
You thought Jane made up some name.
You were like, who? I was like, watch Red Zone, man.
Yeah, but when you did it, you were like, your red zone was like a minute ahead of mine. I was like, huh? And then I saw it.
As expensive broadband in Bristol, that is.
No, I was watching the Patriots on the TV, and I had red zone from my laptop on Sky Go. Yeah, I took Amon-Ra St. Brown, and we decided to not give Mr. Perrins the deflected another helmet catch. I mean, that Trent Sudfeld one, that have that concentration and literally managed to drag his feet to hold it in was ridiculous.
Trent Sherfield, ex-Niner and ex-Dolphin.
Yeah,
Dolphin, yeah.
That's the guy you were on about the other day, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, you were saying the ex-Niners player who made that catch. We couldn't think of his name.
I don't think it was Trent Sherfield. I think it was someone else.
Definitely. So Nick's come in saying the London tailgates leave a lot to decide. They'll always give us a US-style tailgate experience.
Is he talking about the fan zone? Because the fan zone's really bad.
The fan zone is awful. Don't get me started on the fan zone. Don't make me pay £6 in London for 4 cans of Strongbow and not let me take them in there. The fan zone is awful.
So lesson learned from that subject is don't buy 6 cans of Strongbow before you walk around the corner.
It's never a loss, only a lesson, my old buddy.
You guys just left me in the fan zone waiting for like half an hour.
We had to make our way down fashionably late.
Yeah, you had to stop to get Strongbow.
Quite correct.
So let me just
Nick said, "Go for it, Shane."
Oh, you know me, but Bo's biggest fan.
So Nick's to respond to Nick, Wembley used to have plenty of activities going around when it started, and obviously they built around it. If you look at most of the NFL stadiums, they're in the middle of nowhere. They have massive like parking complexes around there. I mean, I'm in the process of editing the video for the blog that I did for the Rams Giants game, where we actually did some tailgating at Big Blue Barbecue. Shout out to them, that was insane. And they literally are massive tailgates. Doesn't matter if it's freezing as it was on New Year's Eve. They do like have the space to do it. We don't have the space here because 90% of our football stadiums is in the middle of a housing estate.
So
or where there is no parking, where they can't do it.
Going back 15 years, I know this, like when it was first done, they had a massive thing at Trafalgar, Times Square then, Trafalgar Square every year.
Yeah.
They tried that. I don't know if I didn't go. I don't think you guys went to the thing at Battersea.
Oh, you were 12.
Did you go to the thing at Battersea last year?
Yeah, it was a Battersea last year,
yeah.
I think friend of the show, Andy Davis, went.
Yeah, so I don't know if that was like the Trafalgar Square thing, And then I know they tried something a couple of years ago, but there's just no space now because Wembley had built a shopping centre, and Spurs is kind of in the middle of a housing estate.
Yeah. I mean, don't get us wrong. The Spurs Stadium is outstanding. I love that stadium. You know,
Best stadium I've ever been to. Absolutely stunning.
yeah. I'm not saying that because there's a couple of Spurs fans sat upstairs.
Oh, I'm a hardcore United fan, right? And also I'm a bit partial to Newport County. Shout out to the FA Cup draw. Come on, County. Let's get United down the Rodney Parade. Anyway, yeah, Spurs Stadium is just a thing of beauty. Money well spent. What a beautiful, beautiful stadium.
I can back up Nick for this. Tailgating at Leeds is epic.
Worst fans in the NFL.
Right.
Well, the Eagles.
Daft.
He's taking himself away. He was that angry with himself. Tailgating in Fox was pretty awesome. Tailgating anywhere is epic, apart from if you go to Buffalo where they like jumping through through tables, but that's just Buffalo for you.
Flaming tables. A different breed of air.
I agree with Nick here.
Mute Shane. I mean, Andy's told us that, you know, the tailgate in Buffalo is pretty awesome. He's been there. You know. Yeah, you're just about after 9 o'clock, mate. You're fine. Let's roll on to Monday night. I mean, Shane, you've watched the highlights of this now, so lead us off with the NCAA finals, my friend.
Oh, you absolute cow, put me on the spot. All right, so anyone who knows my, I wouldn't say disdain. I just think this is an NFL podcast. That's where it should stay. And I understand with the draft and stuff, we need to cover that, and that's great. But we don't need to cover. It's like being a Premier League football podcast and covering the championship. It doesn't need to be done. But anyway, so my old buddy, Mr. OBH, pointed me in the direction of the highlights from the Washington and Michigan game from the weekend. And my first exposure to college ball, I was quite impressed. I thought they were really, really good, and they're really quick. And it just looks, I don't know, it doesn't look as slow as the NFL maybe in certain parts. Yeah. And the fact that Michigan won 34-13, they're the first number 1 seed to beat the number 2 seed. Well, in basically ever, from as far as I'm aware. And it's the Michigan Wolverines' 10th national title in the history of the program, which, as we've learned from Belichick and dynasties like that, that's an incredible, incredible feat. And it's their first one since 1997 as well. I'm not so sure. Like I said, I'm not going to roll off stats about the players. I'm a little unfamiliar. But as I said, I was really impressed with it. I thought it was really good. I might have to pick a team and maybe dip my toe into college ball next season.
Come support Tennessee with me.
I think you should go for Virginia Tech because they play into Sandman going into the stadium.
That's probably going to be the one in all honesty, but
I've seen that on YouTube. It looks incredible.
It looks
anytime you hear Metallica is a religious experience. You know that.
Has Michael Penix done his first round chances harm?
No.
Because he looked like a deer in headlights. Me personally.
So Nick said, do any of you think Harbaugh will leave for the NFL now he's got a natty?
Yes.
Yes.
Carolina. I think he'll end up in Carolina.
I kind of think he might end up in Tennessee.
You reckon Tennessee? You reckon be the after Nashville? Is he a music fan?
I don't know why. I just have this feeling he's going to end up in Tennessee.
Being John Harbaugh's brother, it'd be nice to see him play John in the NFL at some point. But boys, like we said earlier on, I think he may land in Carolina, being the fact that he's a Carolina boy as well.
I mean, I think it was great that John turned up to support his brother.
Yeah,
midway through the first quarter, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And John's got an important task on his hands as it is, you know.
As Nick said, anywhere except the Sea Chickens. Yeah, surely he can't go to Seattle after being at the Niners.
Nick, who do you support?
He's a Niners. Nick is a Niners fan.
Okay.
Oh, stop attracting these people.
Right. As you two have both got quarterbacks, and you're settled with your quarterbacks for at least the next 2 years in your case, and the next 4 years in your case.
Yes.
JJ McCaffrey.
Oh.
McCarthy. Sorry.
Okay. JJ McCarthy.
Yeah. Game manager, NFL type ready quarterback. would he do well in this league? I have my opinion on him, and it's very
As
divided.
Nick just said, red and gold till I'm getting cold.
It is cold. It is cold out, Nick. I give you that. It is cold out.
It's very divided over JJ. Could he do well in the NFL? I think he's very much like Brock Purdy and would suit a Niners offense.
I think he needs to sit for a year, but yes. But
I like
Can we have like a
not a first round pick though. Day 2, day 3 pick. Probably late day 2 maybe.
I really like
so
him.
you
I think
he's going to end up like someone like Will Levis then? Basically sits until the later rounds.
Yeah.
Blake Corum guaranteed to be the number one running back on the board.
What a player, Ben Corum is.
Donovan Edmonds, I don't know if he's going to be entering the draft this year. He's not declared as of yet. That's another really good running back coming out of Michigan.
I think he needs another year being RB1.
Yeah. I really like Roma Adunzi.
Oh, that guy's a player.
Yep. He reminds me a lot of a bit like Mike Evans, but with AJ Brown's size.
If Penix could have been a bit more accurate, that guy could have had about 200 yards.
All day long. There was one which was...
That one he missed on 4th down. That was bad.
Yep. And the one where it was done for holding.
Yep.
The holding foul, which wasn't given, which he would have dragged it in with one hand anyway, and that would have been massive. This guy is a talent. I'm going to try and find his backstory about his grandfather. I won't be ashamed. It had me and Kelly in tears watching it. It might have been the jet lag, so we might be a bit tired, but it's so nice. And it's like seeing him like with his family around here, how he's around his family. This guy will succeed in the NFL. He is very humble, very grounded, very down to earth, and a hell of a player.
Very much like Brock Purdy,
unfortunately.
Or Puka Nacua.
I'm going to say, back to the game, Washington looked very much deer in headlights, very shocked at how Michigan literally just gone bang, 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 bang down your throat.
Yeah.
It was a brilliant, brilliant display from Michigan. Absolutely brilliant.
I thought it was kind of incredible how JJ McCarthy went to the psychologist and got a mental health check in the middle of the 3rd quarter.
Wow.
Did he?
Yeah. You can see him with the sports. You can see him with the sports psychologist. It was 3rd or 4th quarter, and they were literally like he's having a mental health check in the middle of the game.
I completely missed that.
It's in the group chat. I think Phil put something in the group chat the other day. He went and had a mental health check with the sports psychologist on the sideline in the middle of the 3rd quarter.
I'm a bit bored. I'm going to go over there. I love that. Absolutely fair play to him. That's brilliant. These are the stars of the future. We are going to be seeing them in the next one or two next season, or even the season after, especially, come around Washington and Michigan. But let's roll on to the big news. The big games are happening this weekend. We are going to have a look at our predictions leaderboard first before we go on.
Yes, I've extended my gap on Phil.
Yeah, me and Shane.
But that's not. Go on.
Me and Shane are still battling out for the number 1 seed.
Still toe to toe, Mr. OBH. Yep.
There's still a long way to go and a lot of games to be played. Now we're predicting every game.
We are predicting every game from now on. And then when we get to the Super Bowl, it might be a little bit different. I might add a little bit of extra spice to the.
All right.
What did we do last year?
What? MVP and all that.
MVP, I think it was points.
Yeah, I think so. Right. Let's start off with the first game, which is happening on Saturday evening at 9:00, which is the Browns versus the Texans. Has hell frozen over? Is this like the year of the comeback or the year of the revenge in the playoffs?
This game is going to be another one of those coin flip games, especially in the playoffs, where playoff football is completely different to regular football. You lose, your season is done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with my picks first, as much as I want to go with January Joe, former Super Bowl winning quarterback with my beloved Baltimore Ravens, and winner of this game plays those same Ravens in the next round. Texans. Go on. Yep, go on, Texans.
I don't think it's much of a coin flip as you think.
Okay.
The news that came out today that Denzel Ward is down. He's gone down injured.
Right. Now the card is on the floor.
I do think, okay, yes, they got Jerome Ford, who is a good running back in Cleveland.
Yeah.
But not having those two running backs, that dual threat running back, is going to cost Cleveland a long playoff run. So I am going to go for Houston on this one.
I'm going to make it unanimous and say Houston get it done in their own backyard.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
I don't want to play Joe in January anyway.
So let's go to a very cold, which rumours is there's going to be -10.
I've heard -20.
On Saturday night
mental.
In Kansas against Miami.
So 1 a.m. Sunday morning kickoff, ladies and gentlemen.
Miami.
You can't bet against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, Chiefs.
Yeah. So you're up first because you're leading the way, my friend.
You're not wrong, baby hope. You're not wrong. But again, they scraped into the playoffs. Their wide receivers are, for lack of a better term, not good. All you've got left is Mahomes' magic. Kelsey's on his way out. He's got his eyes on his hands and his thoughts on other things. I got to go with Mr. OBH's favorite quarterback, Tua and Tyreek, I think. Dolphins for the win.
I'm going to disagree with you, Shano.
Okay.
Miami are very beaten up on the defensive side of the ball. Xavier Howard's down. The other quarterback's gone down. Jalen Ramsey's like that. Bradley Chubb's down. Yes, they've got the run game, which is going. Jalen Waddle, is he going to be fit? I don't know. Tyreek Hill going back home. Tua isn't that good of a cold weather quarterback. He struggles in the colds. This isn't me hating on Miami because
your agenda kicking off again.
I mean, KC won in Germany, didn't they?
Yeah, and I do like. And I'm going for KC to win. I'm going for KC win. Ollie,
I already said it. Don't bet against Mahomes in playoffs. Chiefs to win. They'll be close.
Nice. There's no point asking Shane who's he going to go for on the first game on Sunday night.
With great pleasure. With great pleasure, I'm going to go with a resurgent Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, and I hope Stephon Diggs scores a hat trick against these towel twirling bastards.
I'm not gonna quite put it like that, but I'm gonna double down on that.
Yeah,
Case Buffalo are hitting form at the right time, and I think they could go and meet KC in the next round.
I'll make it unanimous.
Next game on Sunday night is Green Bay against Dallas. Going into Dallas, who are unbeaten at home this season. Shano.
Let me tell you something now, and this isn't a prediction, it's a spoiler. The NFC Championship game is going to be between the San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys to win.
Oh, that's an interesting way of writing Dallas, Ollie. So Green Bay are the youngest team to make a playoff game. They're the youngest team on average. Their wide receiving core are young, exciting, and really good. They've got a couple of really good tight ends. I think they're running back short of a really good team.
What's
and
wrong with
Jordan
Jones?
Love. Hey?
What's wrong with Jones? Jones is having a good season.
Jones is getting old and getting beaten up a lot. And I'm not a fan of AJ Dillon, despite I had to draft him last year because I needed a running back. Green Bay, if it was at Lambeau, would win. But the fact that Dallas and being in Jerry's World gives you almost like an extra 15,000 fans in there, it's a Dallas win, but I don't think it's going to be a Dallas San Fran
Lord.
AFC game.
I think it'll be close, but I think the home team will win.
Dallas again. Sunday night football.
I'm not saying their name. The home team.
So
Gary's not
petty.
again. Dallas. So we go on to Sunday night football, which is Stafford and Goff playing off against each other. Stafford returning home. Goff facing his old team. Shane O'Harris.
Yeah, this is where it gets tricky being an NFL fan in the UK. Games like this make you want to stay up till stupid o'clock in the morning. This is going to be a slobber knocker. This is going to be a knockdown drag out. This is going to be a street fight. As you said, Goff against Stafford, or Pad Stafford, as Mr. P would call him. Padford, sorry. The Lions are a little bit beat up. Sam Laporta may not be starting. Rams are firing on all cylinders. They got Cooper Cup back to his best. They've also got the rookie phenom. Well, saying that, second rookie phenom. We all know Zay Flowers is number one. In Puka Nakua, Kyrion Williams, which I think is a great Welsh name, is a fantastic running back. Great rookie season so far. If I had to pick a winner, I'll go with the Rams. Go on in.
I've literally been going Rams, Lions, Lions, Rams, 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 Lions, Lions. I don't know.
Kelly doesn't make your pick, Shane. She says,
yeah, I wonder why you'd say that. Big Lions fan, Kel.
Shane, I completely agree with everything you say. They've got,
and then this.
Detroit are beaten up. LA, you've got Kyron Williams, they got Puka Nakua, Cooper Cup, Aaron Donald. I don't like their secondary. I think their secondary is their weakest part of their defensive side of the ball. And I think Amon-Ra St. Brown, Raymond, if he's fit, Laporta can exploit that. And I think that's where Detroit can win it. So I am going to go for Detroit only as well because I need to catch you up.
I really want Detroit to win this because I want Jared Goff to stick two fingers up at LA.
Yeah.
However,
my
head saying LA are hot. They're one of the form teams in the NFL. Yeah. I'm going to say the Rams to win and bring them Santa Clara next week.
I've got a stat. So it's the first time since in the Super Bowl era that both Cleveland and Detroit are over 11 wins in the same season.
That sounds about right because Detroit and Cleveland were always historically terrible. It's like there was a nickname for the Browns for many seasons, the Factory of Sadness, and I completely agree. But I think they've turned it round, especially with the resurgent Joe Flacco at the helm.
I think Detroit, there's something in American sports law that says one Detroit team needs to be awful.
Is that why it's the Pistons this year?
Yeah. So the Pistons' record this year. So it's been the Lions for years, and the Pistons have been okay. Now the Lions are good. I have no idea how good the Tigers are, but the Pistons this season are 3-35. And
they went 28 games without a win.
29 games. They broke the record.
No, they won on the 29th, didn't they?
I thought
against Houston. Yeah, they beat Houston.
Yeah. So bear in mind that the Celtics have only lost 8 games this season. Maybe 9 now, actually.
No, it's still 8.
Detroit have only won 3. So there is something in American sports law that says at least one Detroit team must be awful. That's what I've decided.
Let's go Philly against Tampa, the last game, which is Monday Night Football this week.
Can I go first on this one?
No, you're losing, so you go last.
Okay.
I would have let you, but rules are rules, baby hope. On paper, the Eagles would stomp a mud hole in the Buccaneers and walk it dry, but it's a good thing the football's not played on paper. I want to say the Eagles pull their finger out, but as we've seen recently, it's as if they're falling off a cliff, and no one knows where to stop, where they're going to stop. And I think Baker and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin can Shaq Barrett can spring a surprise? Yeah, go on. I'll go for the Bucks in this one, I think. And Baker for the win.
I really don't trust that Philadelphia team whatsoever. Bar the tush push, what have they got? Their secondary is dog awful. I mean, the secondary I played in for the Worcester Black Knights would stop more than the Philadelphia Eagles secondary would. And now you've got to go against Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Otto, the tight end, White, the running back. Baker Mayfield is in a resurgence. He likes Tampa Bay. He wants to stay in the area. He's going to want to at least get them one win in the playoffs. So I'm going for Tampa to win.
So, Jalen Hurts, questionable. AJ Brown, questionable. Devontae Smith, questionable. Darius Slay, questionable. If this was at the link, I'd go Philadelphia, and there could be an argument made that it probably should be at the link. However, it's at the AJ. So I'm going Tampa.
Wow.
So we all know then, the way we vote, if we all go for the same team, you need to go for the Browns, Pittsburgh, Green Bay, and Philly.
Here's your actor for the weekend. Thank us later.
I would love to play Green Bay in the next round, because if it's Dallas or Green Bay, the Niners win. It's just the law.
Let's be real, right? Let's call it as it is. This year's Super Bowl has got Ravens Niners written all over it.
Yeah, I don't think the Ravens are going to make the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, if wishes were fishes, it would be an ocean.
I think it's going to be. I do think it's going to be a Niners Bills Super Bowl.
I got my Super Bowl bracket, and I'll show it to you guys later on.
I've got my Super Bowl brackets.
I'll show it to you later on. Shayna, we've seen yours and your bracket.
Yeah, us and the Niners, and we stomp a mud all in them again.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you very much for joining in, watching the show, listening to us on Spotify. This will be uploaded to your whatever podcast where you get your podcast tomorrow, 8:30 in the morning. He's been Shane Harris. He's been Ollie Hope. I've been Ollie Butler Henderson. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy playoff football and stay safe.